Where is the weirdest place you've ever fallen asleep? On film sets. First time we were sat in a comfy auditorium for hours on end, fake clapping and laughing. One after another someone would doze off, and if an AD noticed they'd wake us up, unless the person was quiet enough and the others were making enough noise. During a particular slow turnover I dozed off, and during this period of my life I was a bit phlegmy, so I didn't realize my head had rocked back, and I was snoring. Loud. Eventually when I came to, the crew were still doing adjustments. I remember this girl's face as she looked up at me with the most appalled look on her face. I must have been snoring badly. Second time this happened it was very unexpected. I was playing a refugee in a tent with other extras. The director had to place me further away from the others and turn me away from the camera because of how I looked. I lay there awake, but pretending to be unconscious for the first and second take. I then wake after who knows how long to clapping and an AD praising us, and that's a wrap guys. My friend on set, another extra, came up to me to say that I didn't move an inch, even when he tried to tell me jokes. We had just clicked on set and were having a lot of fun that day. I had to ask him how long has it been since we started rolling, and find out that it's been a good 3 to 4 hours. Easiest paycheck I have or will make in my life. I fell asleep one time waiting before a medical procedure. They had to wake me up so that I could sign paperwork permitting them to put me to sleep. Oh, the irony. Oh, I've done that too. Went into the university emergency room equivalent because I was so sick. I thought it was mono. Nurse did her thing. I fell asleep on the examination table after she left. I fell asleep in the exam room and had a nice little nap. Turns out they forgot I was in there. I was in grad school and needed the sleep, TBH. This happened to me also in the I went in for stomach pains. They forgot about me. I fell asleep, and when I woke up it was around 9 PM and the whole corridor was dark/closed. Super scary. Apparently, they only keep one certain section open in the overnight. Plus side was that I wasn't charged. Sounds like a horror movie plot. In the back of an ambulance. I'm the paramedic. Your ailment bores me. I diagnose you with boring. The original sleep doctor. I've done this before. Hour-and-a-half long BS transfer. Checked her vitals, put her on the monitor, made sure she was comfortable, and passed out in the seat behind her. She slept too, haha. For anyone wondering, it wasn't an emergency. Not all times someone is in our ambulance is it an emergency. In fact, it's usually not an emergency. In a crawl space, when I was a technician for a laboratory. Here in Germany, nobody has crawl space. I only know crawl spaces from horror stories or real serial killer material, so they're linked like this in my head. I'd probably never close my eyes if I ever was in one. It was a crawl space on the roof of the lab, so no creepy crawlers or serial killers. Had to be super clean, because medicine. On a hedge at the end my road. Dad wasn't too pleased at driving past his pissed up son sleeping in a hedge on his way to work. On a hedge, or in a hedge? Quite a difference. One is much funnier. Over the hedge. Bruce Willis, Steve Carell, William Shatner, Wanda Sykes, Avril Lavigne. A custom soundtrack beautifully written by Ben Folds. A compelling story about family, friendship, and the unknown. A well-animated movie taking a hard look at consumerism. You bet your bottom dollar. One of the most underrated animated films I think. In the office of a funeral director I was making a sales call to. Years later it dawned on me that he probably thought I would just leave if he made me wait forever. He probably would boxed you up and put you away if you slept long enough. Thank goodness you made it out alive. Wiz Khalifa concert. Everyone was so high, I fell asleep for a few minutes standing up, and the crowd was so thick I didn't even fall over. I slept through Metallica. I woke up for their last song or two. I was so bummed. Edit. For those asking how, when I get too drunk I don't puke. It just becomes sleepy time. Not sure if I should be mad at you for wasting a Metallica ticket or sympathetic to you because you missed a Metallica concert. I'm impressed they slept through Metallica. Underneath the car while doing an oil change. This actually sounds kind of nice. Until someone gets in and starts the thing. To be fair, it won't be on long. On the bus, standing up. In my defense, it was a traffic jam and I hadn't slept the previous night. Hey, I applaud you for this one. Last time I stood on the bus, I fell over so many times. I used to have this problem, then I stopped sleeping standing up. Now I sleep standing while lying down. In college, I took a cognitive neuroscience course that involved designed experiments to be carried out in an MRI and how to analyze the brain images afterwards. As part of the course, we all carried out our studies, and I volunteered to be a participant for a few. When I went to get in the MRI, the tech said I couldn't wear my sweatshirt and due to the metal near the aglets, so she got me a blanket to keep warm. And to keep my head propped at the right angle, they gave me a stack of pillows. I definitely unintentionally fucked with someone's data by falling asleep mid-study. Yeah, live with a cognitive neuroscientist drives them crazy when this happens. Have to throw out the whole trial and time and infirmary is expensive af. Edit, love to live, but technically do that too. Tell them to think less like a scientist and more like an office worker. If you want people to stay awake for your meeting, you load them up with free coffee and bagels. Or pretzels if you're in a pretzel city like Philly. But free coffee is key. I suppose if you want to study anything other than the effect of caffeine on the brain, that could pose a problem. Yep, can't be doing that, because what if some people accept the coffee and some don't? Boom, now caffeine intake is an extra confounding variable. The best solution is probably to consistently do it at like 11 AM or something so people are more likely to be awake. And ask them not to sleep. When I was a kid, like 5 or 6, there was a tree in the front yard I really liked climbing. There was a branch perfectly shaped for little me to lie down on. Early one morning, I woke up and decided to take my sleeping bag up the tree and went back to sleep. Okay, that sounds lovely. Homemade tree hammock. Thud. Well, that just means you get even more sleep. Win-win. But you couldn't wake up even if you wanted. Seems a little lame. On a tractor, while plowing a field. I was doing night shifts during the summer and decided to get some extra hours in during the day, so I was tired when doing my actual shift. I switched on the tractor's GPS and set it to give me a signal 50 meters before the field ended to wake me up to turn around. The fields were about 1200 meters long, so I'd get about 10 minutes of sleep before having to turn around again. I used to do this, but no GPS. Just pray the wheel followed the furrow. Yeah, I do this too, I just use the GPS to wake me up. Back in my day, we didn't use alarm clocks. We woke up on time out of a strong sense of responsibility. Think how surreal it would be for someone standing on the edge of the field to watch a tractor plowing the ground with a sleeping tractorist inside. I enjoy the word tractorist. Maybe it's a sleepless just operating a tractor. Sleeperator. Techno party with my head on top of a bigger speaker. Same here but under a speaker. Woke up at like 11 AM when the floor was closed. Went to the other floor and continued dancing until the club closed in the afternoon. During a job interview, he actually had to shake me awake. Weirder yet, I still got the job. You were hired for that power move. Look them in the eyes while sleeping and assert dominance. Bathroom floors, standing up, in the middle of eating. I have narcolepsy, so I can see pretty much anywhere, not always by choice. I'm currently trying to not fall asleep in a hospital cafeteria and thought you meant all of those at once. What were you doing eating in a bathroom? I think I'm gonna take a nap on this table, since I obviously need it. Even worse, I imagined all three at once, and didn't even question it. I think I need a nap as well. I volunteered at the local firehouse when I was a teen/early 20s. We got a call one night on the interstate which was a 20-minute drive. Sick me decided to close my eyes thinking I would wake up when the siren stopped. I woke up when the truck pulled back in the station and turned off with everyone laughing at me. Well, they'd probably decided you'd not be of any help in your sick state anyway. I once fell asleep standing up. During high school I had the weirdest relationship with sleep and ended up spending more time in class asleep than awake. One day after not having slept for a few nights in a row I just passed out during standing up. We were waiting for instructions. I blinked and suddenly everyone was out in the field doing stuff and I was alone. Teacher seen me come to shortly after and informs me that class is over in a few minutes and to just go ahead and get changed again. Reportedly I snored. I usually didn't in the classroom. Edit because I have another one. One time I fell asleep on the sidewalk outside my dentist's office. I had gotten up way earlier than I had needed to. I had to bus there, had 3 hours to kill, and not much money to get breakfast or something. So I went and sat down on some concrete fixtures that made a decent improvised seat, got annoyed at myself for forgetting to charge my phone, and started changing my seated position frequently before eventually dozing off laying down. Thankfully I awoke, but it was to a siren. I was wondering what was going on when a firefighter started talking to me. Somebody thought I was a body or a passed out homeless person. Whoops. Made it to my dentist on time and resolved to never be that early to an appointment ever again. Like the video and subscribe right now, and baby Yoda will protect your room tonight.